Anyway, no problem. Okay. So first things first. So if you've seen this, I'll start with task 2, all right, which talks about the basic queries. All right, someone wants a link. Okay, thank you for sharing. Someone please share the link in the group. Okay, I will be telling about, see, the task 2, it says, first question, analyze FTP logs. Do you observe any suspicious uploads? If so, list them in a table format. Okay, so the question is simple, right? The question, let me see all of you raising your hand. Okay, so people who are raising your hand, right? Please tell me, where do I search for FTP logs? The first question in task 2, it says analyze FTP logs. So where should I go ahead and look for FTP logs, guys?
From
Where,
FTP server. FTP server.
yeah, so where, which index or which source should I search? Okay, so looking at the question, right? What does the question say? Analyze FTP logs. That means I have to search in FTP logs, right? You guys are right, FTP server, right? So I'm getting the FTP logs and I'm storing it in an index. I've named that index as FTP, correct? I have stored, I've got all the logs from the from the FTP server, and I'm storing it by naming it as index is equal to FTP. Have you understood till at least? I mean, if you've not, let me know. I'll repeat, not a problem. Is that right? Index is equal to FTP. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, Chandru, Mohammed, Avinash, Ruth, Kavya. I'm waiting for your answer so that if you understand, I can go ahead.
Yes, Shruti.
Yeah, please do let me know others also. So the thing is, we've got the logs, right? We've got the logs and we are storing it by naming it as FTP, right? That's the reason I'm going to search an index is equal to FTP. All right, so let me just select last 7 days because I'm not getting logs every day, right? In your organization, you need not do this every time. Here we are doing this just because it is one-time upload of data. I've added a CSV file. Okay, that's the reason I'm selecting last 7 days. In your organization, every day you'll be getting logs. Okay, there's a lab environment. That's the only reason I'm searching for last 7 days. Okay, so index is equal to FTP is where I have to search. Now, do you observe any suspicious uploads? If so, okay, first we'll take, do you observe any suspicious uploads? Now, the other day I told you, these are servers which are left open to the internet and students are allowed to upload data only in the format of PDF, CSV and Word document, right? So anything apart from this will be a little suspicious, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, I hope you are getting what I'm saying. Deepak, Ruth, Kavya, Banu, all of you, please stop me if you do not understand anything, right? So
Yes,
please
Shruti.
do stop me. Index is equal to FTP is where we have to look. And the other day I told students are allowed to upload only PDFs, documents, and let's say CSV or your Excel, right? Anything apart from this could be something suspicious. So what do we have to do? Have to look for some suspicious things. Suspicious, it could be suspicious uploads, right? So what do I have to do? There are a couple of things that you can do. File name. Pick the file name because file name will give you, that's why I said, so when you start the search, expand and see. Expand and see what are all the different fields are there and understand the scenario. So this is the FTP, right? We have IP details, we have file name details, we have the packet size details. So a huge packet size also could be one of, I mean, something suspicious, right? A file name wherein it is not PDF or CSV could also be suspicious, right? Depending on the extension, all right? And definitely depending on the source IP address also, right? So what we can do, we will just mention all of it. Okay, so first things first, file name, where file name is in probably car, sorry, your wildcard dot exe, comma, what else dot, probably star.png, whichever you think people have uploaded and you want to monitor, you can mention all of it like this. All right, let's say, what else? We'll search only these two first. Wait. So what did you search for? You searched for exe and png. All right, exe
We
and
need
png
only,
because these, sorry,
we need a CSV form only. That's the correct format of FTP.
no, that's not the correct form of FTP, nothing like that. So FTP is what? FTP is nothing but a server. Okay, we
Yeah.
are using FTP to transfer files or to store some data. This data can be in any form. Okay, this scenario which I gave you guys, telling that this is a server which belongs to SOC experts and students are using this server to upload their assignments. Okay, so assignments will be in what? Document format. It could be in CSV. Okay, it could be in probably XLS. It could be in PDF format. So why would you want students to upload something in EXE? You're
Those are
understanding my point? This is only with respect to this scenario. In your
fine.
organizations, you will have different, allowed set of, what do you call these extensions?
Yeah. We
Okay,
have to
this
think
is
this.
only with respect to SOC experts.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have told you in the scenario, these are the allowed ones. So anything apart from this is what you have to, say, think that, okay, this could be suspicious, right? So what you need to do, just write a query, index is equal to FTP, file name in, we are using a wildcard because we don't know what is the file name, but we know it ends with exe. It's an exe file, right? So we are just taking a guess. I don't know if there are exe files or not. I'm taking a guess. I didn't know if there was any PNG files or not. I'm taking a guess. But when I searched with this, I got the result. I got the result wherein there were multiple exe files uploaded. There were multiple exe files uploaded. So what do? I'll put it in a table format. What is my table? It will give me the file name. It will give me the packet size. And the IP address, source IP address. Okay, you can do a simple thing. I'm talking about a very simple thing like this. It'll give you the results. So since you have source IP, you can always use IP location. Why? Because these are all public IPs, and you can get to know the IP location of these, right? So this is how you build the query. So you mention IP location, mention source IP. So you will get city details or country details. Now you add country. Okay, so there is something called PNG. So if there are something else that you guys have come across, just let me know, we can add. So probably there is something called exe or your MSI file, or some script. So PS, right, something, I'm just giving an example. All right, it may
Excuse
be or it may not be there. Okay, so this is what I have to find this. So I'm going to give what all I think could be uploaded, because, or there is one more way you can do. You can say file name not equal to file name, sorry, not equal to, what is this, r dot, what is it, PDF.
correct.
Can even do this, you will get a lot of things, right? Then you will know, okay, CSV is also allowed, right? Then you can mention or file name not equal to star.csv. What happened? Bye.
Hello, Stuti.
Yes, please tell me.
Yeah, actually, I write the string like index is equal to FTP, file name is equal to uh, in bracket star dot exe bracket complete pipe, and byte is equal to less than 70,000. The data
Okay.
is not like that.
Okay, yeah, even that works. See, that is what, right? There
No,
is
not
nothing.
work. I'll try many times, but it is not showing the
Give
result.
me the exact query, please. So I told,
Um,
yeah, copy paste the chat. I can pick it up from there. What do you mean not equal to in? No, not equal to will not work. It is not. You have to use something called not. I will tell you that.
okay.
So Balaji and Deepak, I'll tell you that once again. Where search, I think you have to search not yeah, meanwhile, please post the query. I'm sorry, I'm not sure who spoke, but please paste the query. So this is how you have to use not. Okay, not equal to in. There's no in. There's no in. You have to mention not first and then file name in this. Okay, search not file name where it is not in CSV, it is not PDF. Okay, so this is what you have to use. Whatever you have to use a pipe here, because we are searching what? We are searching a file name which is not in these things. Okay, this is how you have to use it.
Excuse me, ma.
Yep.
Okay, so I tried to use the IPs, and of course I was able to get something, but on the second thought, I was like, okay, if someone within the organization actually uploaded a file that is not allowed, you just relying on an IP that is not recognized in-house is not going to, give me the true picture.
Correct.
So, but I try the not equals to thing, even though I have the idea that, well, whatever is not equal to what is allowed should give me the results, I want. That kind of seems like the holistic approach. But I didn't get the what do you call it? I didn't get it.
Okay.
I didn't put it back.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because there are people within the organization can also do something, which is not allowed, right? So definitely that is right. We cannot go just with the IP. That's the reason I added IP and a country detail here. And I'm not anywhere trying to filter with the IP, right? So I'm not filtering anything with the IP. I'm trying to filter only with the file name. So this is CSV and PDF. Only two types. If I'm saying only two types are allowed, right? Let's say only CSV and PDF is allowed. So what am I going to see? I'm going to search for anything apart from this in the organization, right? We can have this as an alert. All right. Or if you would want to, let's say if you have whitelisted few IPs, then you would not get those anyway, you will not get those events itself. Or you can just say IP not equal to, you can just mention over here, search IP not there, you can add it over here only simply, right? Source IP not equal to blah blah blah, and you can continue your search. But yeah, it is always better we do it with respect to the file name, because these are the allowed file names. CSV and PDF, anything apart from this could also, give us the result. You can always go ahead, increase the complexity of this particular alert. You can also say where file name is equal to this and this, and you can give a packet size also. You can give packet size greater than something, and packet size than whatever you want to give, right? Depending on the packet. So you can use with respect to the packet size, with respect to the source IP, and definitely the file name. So for now, to start with, I told just check the file name. So I'm going to post this. This is how you use not. All right. This is how you use not. I'll just post it. Yeah. File name is not equal to PNG where bytes. Yeah. Where bytes is greater than or equal to 7,000. This is what the one we used, and then you did not get results, is it? So, okay.
Stuti, is there any algorithm to develop the query? Because I'll check. It is something like use boolean or a mathematical symbol in SPL.
Get that actually. Sorry. You want what? An algorithm.
Is there any algorithm like how to write the query? Is there any standard structure?
No, there is no standard structure. Depending on what you want is how you write the query.
Yeah.
So even over here, there was no, so this is your query, right? Index I should be in small. Anyway, so the thing is, you're searching with PNG. So if you search with PNG, of course, that's the reason you're not getting, right? So what is this? You should use a wildcard, right? If you just give PNG, it's always better you use a wildcard.
Means today, wildcard means?
Sorry, wildcard. Okay, so wildcard means this asterisk. It can be anything. It can be anything. So if you just give, I'll show you the difference.
Okay.
Right, anyway, this index I is small. First of all, there is nothing called byte, what you have put, right? So guys, I'm going to explain this once again. All right, please understand. So there is no straightforward query or search you have to do. There is nothing like a procedure. All right, there's nothing like step by step thing you have to do this. No, depending on what you're trying to do is you have to build the query. You guys have to build the query. So looking at the task 2, first question, analyze the FTP logs. Okay, so what do you have to do? Analyze it first. Index is equal to FTP, I small, search. You're getting the responses, and in the class I had already told that students are allowed to upload data only in PDF and CSV. Only in PDF, CSV, and document, nothing else, right? So expand the query, look for the field names and the values. Field names and the values. So the source, not the source, sorry, the file name will give us the idea about what is the file that was uploaded, the extension of the file that was uploaded, right? So what you can think of doing is any student who is uploading the file which is not in the format of, not equal to, in the format of CSV. So do you know the file name of CSV what students have uploaded? No, you do not know all the names, right? So we use something called wildcard. Wildcard or your asterisk is nothing but its value is anything.
Okay.
Anything. So if I do a star.csv, I know the file ends with CSV, but I don't know the name, right? So if I do a star.csv, I'll get all the ones. I'll show you file name is equal to star.csv. Okay, now you see it has reduced to 296, and if you see there are a lot of everything which talks about .csv. Now that how did I get? Because I don't know this file. This file could I mean the name of the file on the path could differ, but I don't know the name of the file. I know only the extension. That's why I put star.csv, right? So now let's say not equal to, I say not equal to CSV. Now do you see there are only 9 events, which is going to tell me which are all the files which are uploaded which are not in the CSV format. Yeah, and then after that you have mentioned where bytes. Where is bytes? Do you see bytes here? Like I told you, right? You have to use only the fields which are there. So if you say bytes is greater than something, and you're not getting the result, what did I say? Please remove this and search why you're not getting. So you should do the troubleshooting. You guys have to do the troubleshooting. Only then you will understand where you're going wrong. Right? When you do bytes is greater than 7,000, as soon as you add this, you're not getting details. That means there is something wrong with this. Either there is nothing greater than 7,000, or I have to check what is bytes information. Right? I have to check what is bytes information. So remove this part. Remove this part, search. Okay. So what was the packet size, right? It is called packet size. Search for bytes. You have bytes? No, there is nothing called bytes. There is something called packet size. So pick this packet size. Then you do where packet size greater than, give some number and then search. Okay, I'll add one more zero. You're not getting the events. Maybe there is nothing, nothing holding this capacity. So remove couple of zeros and search. Okay, probably there was no other file. Only these two files have the size of only these two files are greater than whatever number is this. That's the reason I was not getting any data. Now I'm getting data. You're understanding my point? So these are very small commands, simple commands that we have already learned. Right? These are very simple commands we have already learned. And you guys have to think. You guys have to think and build the query. Sumit, is that now understandable?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys have to build the query. What is the difference
Yeah.
between search and where? So yeah, search, I've already told this. Search is nothing but when you have to use something like where country is something, like a string value, right? Packet is only, I mean, where you use only when you have to use greater than, equal to, less than symbols is what you have to use where. You can't say where country is greater than Russia. No, there's nothing like that, right? So in such scenarios, use where search country is equal to Russia, or search username is equal to blah blah blah, right? Where you use when it has to deal when it deals with some kind of a numerical value, where you can use greater than, equal to, less than, in between symbol. Okay, so Deepak Balaji, is that clear? I've already posted the query. Use this query.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to find out, in Linux, if you do man, that's MAN, say for manual, LX, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do enter, it's going to give you the meaning of that code and also kind of give you example and the way you can use it, right? Now, do you have something like that in what do you call it, in Splunk?
You want to, okay, I got to know. The help section or the manual, it gives you a list of commands and what those commands does in Linux. Something
Yes.
right like that, right? So yeah, in Splunk, there is I'll try to, one second. Let me stop sharing. There is something similar to that. So I wanted you guys to just like go search because I can share, not a problem, but you guys should go that little, not, it's not an extra mile, right? A little more activity from your end, so that a little Googling would give you these details. But I have it. Just check in this. There are too many things. You don't have to worry about all of these things, right? But where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. I'm going to post something over the group over here. All right, as in Teams. This has a lot of information. That's the reason I didn't want to share. But you can just go through this, all right, and just go through the simple commands. I'm posting it in the group. I wanted you guys to search this. But yeah, I've shared it in the group. Just have a look. All right, that's a very small manual, and it has details, a lot of details, right? You don't have to like go through everything. I will tell you what you can go through. So where's the file? So this is the file, all right. And you don't have to worry about all these things, whatever is there. See, common search commands is what you can what you can probably look into. Okay, these are very simple ones which is there. All right, very, very simple ones. You don't have to worry about mstats. You don't have to worry about regular expression, rex. You don't have to worry about these two. And even this, there are a lot of information. You don't really have to worry about these things. Okay, this should do. But just have this guide just in case. This should do. common search commands. That is the one which I've told you in the class as well.
That's fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. So this is how you guys have to start your search. All right. Chandru, Deepak, is that okay? Pooja, Ken, Banu, Balaji, Kavya, Ruth,
Yes, Saraswati.
Mohammed. To start your search, this is how you have to build your search. This is how you have to build your search. So let's take another example. So building the dashboard also, Deepak. So it's the same, right? Once your query is ready, just save it as dashboard. This will get into your dashboard. That's it. Right? So, okay. Next one. What? I'll tell you the, okay, someone had pinged already. Some question. What was that? Task 2 something. Task 2 question 7. Okay. Task 2 question 7. So task 2 question 7, it talks about find out connections over SMB port. So SMB port, what is the port for SMB, guys? SMB port, please. SMB port number?
445, 139.
You have 445 and 139, right?
Yes.
So where will we get all this information? In which logs? In which logs? So if you are not sure, do a index is equal to star. Okay, since you guys are we are still learning here. I'm just putting index is equal to star and all time. Okay, please don't do this in your organization. I'm repeatedly telling, please do not go ahead, do index is equal to star all time, that too in verbose mode in your organization. No, I'm just doing this so that you guys understand. That's all. Okay, so I have all these logs. Which logs will give me the details about the port in the logs which I have? Mohammed, Deepak, Pooja, and Avinash.
One short question. Sorry for this. Like, whatever the IP you're using, right? Like, is it only for your use? Because I'm trying to log in the back end, but it's like saying a password wrong.
That's because Banu, I don't want Banu, right? I don't want you guys to log in, right? I want you guys to just check whatever I'm trying to tell. I have not started the AD server. I
Okay,
do not want
got
you
it.
guys to
Thank
log
you.
in because of this.
No, I want to try in my system whether I like any like case sensitive issues or like that the commands and all. If I get no, I can ask immediately. So I
Okay,
thought
did
trying
you
login.
over
I
the
couldn't.
weekend did you try? Banu, did you try over the weekend? I'm sorry, talking to Banu only, right? Or
No, not yet. Not.
no, I mean I'm asking whether you tried over the weekend.
That I have tried on like a Saturday.
Acha, okay.
Fine. Okay.
All right. So where do we find those details about the ports, guys? Looking at the logs I have. Do we
Web
get the
server.
information? Web server. Okay, we'll go to web server. We'll see if at all we get. Am I getting port details here? SMB port? Any port? Sorry, not only SMB, any port details? So in my web server logs, do I get port details? Yes or no? Just tell me looking at the alert, please.
No.
No. Why? Because this I get the information only regarding who is trying to access, from which place are they trying to access, what is the, are they using a browser to access or some kind of a tool? I'll get that information, right? I'll get user agent information, I'll get the method information, IP information. right? I don't get port details here. Where will I get port details?
Firewall.
So do index is equal to star. If you are
We
not
can
sure,
directly search with 445 by typing there.
yes, definitely. But the thing is, you guys have to understand where you get those logs, right? That's the reason I'm doing it step by step, right? Because everybody has to understand, right? So web server, you're not getting FTP. Do you get FTP? Do you get details about the port?
No.
And AD?
Check source type.
I'm sorry. In AD, do we get details about the port? Was my question.
No.
So it comes down to DNS and firewall. In DNS, you do get the port information, but these are DNS logs. It's mostly all a DNS port 53 and some other random ports. So I have to go with firewall. So this is how you build your search. I have to go look for firewall to get the result. So index is equal to firewall will be my query, base query, index is equal to firewall. Now I've told over SMB port. So over SMB port, meaning the destination port. The destination has to be SMB, not the source, because when it initiates the connection, the source port will be a random port, right? Source port will be a random port always, right? Not always, but it will be a random port, right? So source port and destination port. So destination is where I have to check whether it is using SMB, right? You have to check whether it is using SMB. So that's the reason I'll put est underscore port in, what was that? 445, comma 139, is it? Guys, you have to help me out.
Yes, 139.
Now we'll do the search. Okay. Now I've got destination port in 445. If I check destination port, where is this port? Yes, 445 and 139. These two are my SMB. So this is how I will conclude. And then you write a table. Put IP location if you want the details of the location. Build your query, table, blah, blah, blah.
Shruti,
1 second. Did you guys understand this?
Yes, Sudhi.
Yes, does it make sense to you guys now? Chandru, Avinash, Mohammed, Deepak, Ruth, Kavya, Balaji, Deepak, Banupriya, Ken. I want you guys to let me know whether you followed till here. This is how you build the query. Is this clear now? Will you go back? If you practice, will you be able to build these queries?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sudhi.
Please go ahead and practice, guys. So if you do not know, just put in only the index. You don't have to know the whole query. Nobody is expecting that. You have to build the query. The way you build the query is search for the logs, expand this. See what is the information is whatever is there. Now the question was about port, SMB. So you don't know the SMB port? Google SMB port number. Google, you will get the result. Okay, it talks about 445. If you see here, it talks about 445, 139. Okay, that means I have to check 445 and 139. Come back over here. What fields will that be? Will it be my source port or destination port is what you have to decide upon. But source port, you should not be bothered about source port for now. Okay, it is, you have to see the connection over SMB port. That means some person who's trying to go outside or from outside to inside where the destination port is SMB. So what do? Dest port in have two port numbers, right? So that's the reason you have to put dest port in is in 445, 139, or you can do dest port is equal to, 445, or dest port is equal to, what do you call, 139. You can do either of these things. Okay, and then you do a table, blah, 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 and you build a query. Okay, so is this clear? Someone was asking me, I don't know who that was. Yeah, it will. Okay, it works on destination port. See, Pooja, the thing is, I want to search for 445. I want to search destination port is equal to 445. I want to search this is equal to 445. I don't want
Sorry.
anything apart from this. If I do not equal to, it will give me anything apart from this.
I thought we need expect from 445, so that's why I give not equal.
No. I want 445 because I've told connections over 445. That means I need it.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, someone was asking me something. I don't know who that was. So yeah, you can ask your question now. Nobody? Okay.
So can I use wildcards on 445 and 139 just direct like that?
But why would you use a wildcard? You know, for sure, this is the port number, right?
Yes.
If you use a wildcard, it's going to give you all the port numbers. But at this moment,
if I specify it, if I specify 445 and 139.
Yeah, if you want a specific port, yes, you have to.
Okay.
Balaji, you can just check that, right? You can always, okay. See, these things, guys, you can check which works, what doesn't work, right? So you're saying instead of this, you have to use such, right? See if this works. Does this work? It is, right? So yeah, you can just try to check all these things. So all right. So guys, go ahead. I'm going to tell you a couple of more. I'll pick up a few more tasks and I'll tell you, right? And then we can go ahead with today's class. So, all right. I'm going to pick one more question. From which one? Do you want me to tell about any questions? So do let me know. I'll pick that up. Okay. Any question in particular that you want me to discuss? Please explain one's dashboard. So Mohammed, can you just stay back for some time after the class? I'll explain the dashboard again. Can you please how to rename table fields? Sorry, rename. Yeah, I forgot about rename. So I will tell you about rename. I will. Okay, if there's no other particular question, let me pick up some question like list the file names. That is a simple. From which IP do you see most number of DNS requests? From which IP do you see most number of DNS requests? So I know it is the question about DNS. So Avinash, where do I search? In which index? Hello? Avinash, are you there? Chandru, which index should I search in if I want to search for DNS logs? Ruth, Kavya, where should I search if I want to search for DNS?
The DNS.
63,
It's DNS.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all in DNS logs,
DNS.
right? So index is equal to DNS. I'm going to get few details. So I'm just going to expand. This is how you have to do. Expand. See what are all the different fields. What are all the different fields? So the question was, list all the sorry, I missed it. From which host? No, what was it? I missed it. From which IP do you see most number of DNS requests? So one easy thing, it's a very easy thing, right? Source IP. From which IP do you see the most number of DNS requests? It is this, because this has the highest count. 17% of the events is covered with this IP. All right. So now there was one more question with DNS. Someone had asked me about it. Searching for that. Give me one quick minute. DNS. So can you create a table showing the source IP and URL from the DNS logs? Or if I want to monitor anything from the DNS logs, what we can do? Let's say I want to monitor, let's say this is the site which is anything apart from apple.com is what I have to monitor. Let me just check which is the site which has the most number of, okay, this is the one which has the most number of hits, right? And I don't want to monitor this, right? So what do? I'll just put site not equal to this particular site, right? And I'm going to start my search. What happened? DNS? There are so many logs, is it all time? Okay, there are a lot of logs. Okay. So now I want to search some where do we have? These are all mostly internal only. So I gave all simple questions. All dest IP. Okay. So anyway, so if I want to search in DNS, right? And if I do not want to monitor a particular site, I'm going to give site not equal to this, right? And then do a table command. Do a table, put all those values which you think is important. So if you look at the DNS logs, what will be our important fields or fields of interest? Definitely source IP. From which IP are these requests being made? To which site? The site details, and definitely the port will be 53. You can ignore that. And dest IP, which is the IP, which is our DNS server to which these requests are going. So you can monitor one more thing. Are these requests going to some public DNS? You don't want the request to be going to public DNS. You want all the requests to be going to your company's, your DNS, which is there inside your organization, which belongs to you, not a public DNS. So in that case, what you can do, you can make dest IP, where dest IP not equal to your 172. What was that? Dest IP 192.168. And then you can do a search. That way, you've got some events. Let us check what all IPs are there. There are few IPs. These are all public IPs. What are these IPs? You have to figure out what are these IPs. 172.16 is internal IP. Ignore that. Apart from that, these are all public DNS. I don't know whether these are public DNS. We have to check whether these are public DNS. Why is my why are these internal systems trying to get the resolution from a public DNS is what you have to figure out, right? So new star, it's a web hosting. Okay, that is fine. If you want, you can just click on this. You will get to know all the alerts with respect to that particular IP, right? You can see it is all destination port DNS requests only to komodo.com. Check the sites it is requesting for. So it is mostly Komodo, right? That's the antivirus, right? So these are the sites which it is trying to request for. So this is how you build your search. Search in an index, go through all the events, look at the query, what is there, and then you start adding those small commands, not commands, I would say, try to filter out the data, and then you start adding your simple command, your search command, your where command, stats command. That is how you build your query. Okay, please go ahead, practice again today. Now, we'll take another example. Do you notice any suspicious activity on the web server? If so, from which IP do you see this? So web server, straightforward. So I'm going to put web server. Okay, I'm going to go for last 7 days. Okay, I've got the results. All right. So let me just expand and see. All right, what are the information which is going to help me, tell that, okay, this could be something malicious, this could be something suspicious, right? So what are those things? There is something called URI or the URI path, right? Why URI path? That is because so what is this robots.txt, guys? What is robots.txt? You're coming across something like robots.txt. What is that? Any idea?
It's the file where it is can be accessed or cannot be accessed mentioned in the web server. Is that so?
Sorry.
This is used by crawlers actually, basically.
Yeah, it will block the crawlers. I mean, if you mention the endpoints over there.
Okay, okay.
Like
So,
we using this robot.txt, we can find what are the sensitive endpoints. So we can like guess it or we can see it, how they block.
just a simple Google search will give you the result. All right. If you do not understand anything, please go ahead, search about that. Okay. I'm sure, most of the things, will be able to, Google will be able to give you that relevant data. All right. So actually also, right, you will see these robots.txt when you are trying to scan, when someone is trying to scan your organization, when they're using some tools, right, you will see, the requests are, you will see this in the path, in the URI path. But let's start building the query. Okay. But the question was, if you see something suspicious, all right. So to identify what is suspicious in our scenario, let us check what is that we are getting. What requests are we getting most of the time? All right, so you can check the referrer, you can check the URI or the URI path. This favicon, whatever you see, this is nothing but every website whenever you access, right, some extra, what do you call, your CSS or your Java, whatever, there are multiple pages to a website, right? So these are those extended pages or extended information, whatever it asks for, right? So that is your whatever this favicon. So there's one more way that you can find out, that is looking at the, where is our method. So get method, simple. Yes, get is what you will get when you're trying to get some information about a website. It's a clear cut method, right? Get information. So you can always check the ones which do not talk which is not a get request. So you can mention method not equal to get. Let me click for last 30 days. I hope I'll get more data. Only 143 events, March 22. Oh, I should have restarted the. Okay, I should have restarted the server. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. We will do that activity right now. Give me one quick minute. All right. So I'm going to start this. Okay, meanwhile, there are a lot of online tools. Can you just Google online vulnerability scanners or online scanners or anything as such? Please Google. Meanwhile, there will be some online tools. Let me know once you're found. I'll give you the IP. I want you guys to scan this web server. I want more logs, that's why. So yes, you found it, yes or no?
Yes, Shruti, found.
So can run scans on this particular machine.
Can I give IP address? We'll try.
Yeah, I've posted in the group. Please try to access the website. Others, please try to access the website. We're just trying to get some more information. I mean, some more logs onto our Splunk. That's it. So, and couple of you, please run scans. Couple of you, please run scans.
I ran scan. Actually, could you?
You can just search that day. So 11th question, nobody. What is that? This one you will get 2 free scans. Actually, you can scan from here also. You could scan an IP. Okay, no problem. If you found anything else, please scan with that. There was one more, hacker.in or something like that. Acunetics also you can use, but I think you have to sign up or something. So what are we doing? We just want a lot of what do you call we just want a lot of data that we
Shruti,
can.
I have scanned through directory research, direct search.
Okay.
There is a tool you can check.
Okay. All right. Super. Thanks. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Super. All right. So my question was 11th one. So nobody got back to me saying there's nothing suspicious or whatever. Anyway, so 11th question, do you notice any suspicious activity? So to understand a suspicious activity over the web server, definitely in your organizations, you might have WAF. If not, like I said, check the referrer. You can get to know the referrer. You can get to know with respect to the URI. right? The URI path, right? And the user agent. All right, let's say of course, mostly people use, the browser, right? So what will I do? There are a couple of things that you can do, right? So what did I copy? Sorry, user agent. So what you can do? You can check user agent not equal to. Need not mention such big thing, right? You can just mention Mozilla and star. All right, so if you check user agent not equal to Mozilla, right? Let me check the different user agent. No, there are no details only. Okay, then there is no point going for this. All right, so you can remove this. No point. It's all mostly the browser tools that was used. Nothing, no other tools, right? Only online ones probably. So there's one more thing that you can check with. That's the URI. You're the URI path, right? So how do I run with a URI path, or how do I check with the URI path? So let me just expand one of the alert, one of the event, right? I'm seeing, they're asking, they're trying to fetch something called log.mdb. All right, so if you look at the path, the URI or the URI path, they're trying to get this information. All right, they're not only just browsing, they are trying to perform some kind of scanning or some kind of activity wherein it is asking me, it is trying to fetch some of the, see here, log.sqlite. Do you see log.json? They're trying to fetch some log files. They're trying to get some log files from my website, right? That is what you can see looking at this. And if you noted, it's all coming from the same IP. Looking at it, you can see from it's all coming from the same IP.
Sudhi, that is
But yeah, I know. Some of you would have only done that, so not a problem, right? So in your organization, it becomes very difficult if you have to like go through each and every log, right, to understand what are the different requests which is coming through, right, and what is the IP. All right, so again, come to your left hand side, look at the method. Where is our method? Method. There are 5 methods. Okay, get is okay, still okay, but you're still seeing something called trace and track. So what you can do, method. I'm not telling, you don't monitor the get method. I'm just telling, let's check, because we are building an alert. We have to see every aspect, right? So method not equal to get. When you do a method not equal to get, you're seeing some, see this? Lot of post requests. When method is not equal to get, right, and then we can do a table to see the information easily, right? So table may you can add, what all you can add? You can add, sorry. There'll be some disturbance from my end. Just ignore it for a minute. Where is IP? Client IP. You can put client IP. Put referrer URI path to understand what are the various requests. If you notice, right, some random paths PHP, right, they're trying to access get password.php. This particular IP is trying to, what do you call it? It is trying to do a directory traversal, right? So it is trying to go to scripts, it is trying to get password, right? It is trying to put all of this information. So basically what is happening, they're trying to scan the system, they're trying to run some scans on my web server. So if at all I notice something like password, something like script, or something like let's see what all we have, and we can build our query accordingly, right? We see something called script, we see something called again scripts, lot of scripts, index php scripts. So looking at this, I can say instead of method, if at all I see in the URI, if at all in the URI I notice something like scripts, or what was something else that we saw? We saw something else also, no? Password, or some script.ps files. Uh, do you know there was this log4j towards the end of last year, log4j? Yes or no? Have you heard about
Yes,
log4j? Yeah.
yes, yes,
So they were
yes,
using
yes.
a particular. This was the command. It would start with something like Java naming and directory interface. The command was you starting with JNDI, and this would be a part of the request, right? This would be a part of the request. So you can add all these things in your request. So where do you get all this? You will get all this in the IOCs. You will get all these things in the indicators of compromise when the document. So what am I searching? Index is equal to web server in the URI, or something called scan. I don't know, I'm just checking because it could be anything, right? So let's just check only these things. All right. So if I do a search, right, I'm getting a lot of requests. So this is irrespective of which method it is. It is even get, even post, right? Irrespective of the method, looking at the URI is what I am trying to find some abnormality, something suspicious. All right. So to get to this point, what did I do? I just did a index is equal to web server. Index is equal to web server. I just checked the logs for a couple of days. All right. Just, uh, probably I could have checked even for last 7 days. All right. Oh, you see here? Oh, wow. Super. Someone is actually using Nessus tool. All right. You see this? You see this request? I was talking exactly about this JNDI LDAP. So what is this? This is your log4 shell. This is the recent vulnerability, right? A very recent one, which was on a large scale. All right. So this is the query. Where are we seeing this? Come down and check. This is going into your referrer. This will be in your referrer. So what you can do? Pick up that referrer. REFE, what is that spelling? REFE or ER. Referrer is equal to or in, can mention your JNDI, right? So star JNDI, all right. And any other things like what else do we have? Most of this all for log4 shell, log4j. Okay. Where referrer is in or equal to I'm going to do a search. So there are 53 events which has something like JNDI. This JNDI is for your log4j. Log4j. It checks if your web server is vulnerable to the log4j vulnerability. This is what it is going to search, right? So that is what I've added in my referrer. Or all right, I have added that in my referrer and I'm going to do a search. So yes, there are scanning activity happening from this particular IP. How did I come to know this particular IP? You can just do a table. All right, you can just do a table. You can add all that information. Client IP, it's happening only from one IP, it's fine. But to understand, you can just mention client IP. Whenever you see IP details, make sure you use IP location, client IP, right? Build your table, build in or put all the required details in your table and then do a search. Now we know this is happening for log4j. Fine, well and good. Referrer, all right. Also, I told you you can check with respect to the URI also, looking at the URI. So you have to decide what you can build up your query as, right? You can check whatever you want and build your query. So where were we? URI, right? We'll check URI. We'll check for last 7 days. Okay. Now we have lot of events coming through. If you see, suddenly there is a spike. So let's say I want to monitor only this. I'm going to put a table, or before that I'm going to do a dedupe. I'll tell you why am I doing a dedupe. Dedupe client IP. Do one more thing. I'll do what do you call table client IP, and you have something called user agent. You can use user agent. And what else? Method. You can use method, right? User agent. So you'll get to know these are the different, these are the IPs which is trying to, it is trying to probably use any of these in the URI. I can add URI details. It's the same user agent. Okay, now let's say this is our finding and I want to okay, so now what did I do? Let me just duplicate the tab. Okay, so what did we do? To understand the abnormality, the first step, what we did, we checked all the logs. We expanded the logs. We checked which field will give us that information. We have a couple of fields. It could be your referrer, all right. It could be your URI or your URI path, right? And definitely the method. So you can use any of these things to build your, and of course your user agent to build your query. All right. So when I initially checked the URI and the URI path, I saw a lot of requests wherein they were, something to do with scripts. All right. Something called password, right? That is very simple. How did I come to know? I just expanded. I just made a table, right? I just made a table and I looked for those things and I was able to easily get. But in your organization, it will not be such straightforward. It will definitely not be such straightforward. So what you can do is you can pick up, let's say something like index.php or
ரூட்ல போறேன் ரூட்ல போய் நான் பண்றேன் டைரக்டா அப்படின்னா வெப்சைட்ல பண்றேன்.
sorry, anybody saying anything? Your voice isn't clear. If you could please post the query in the group, I'll take a look at it. All right, so let's say any referrer. So ideally when you have to access the website, it will be what? It will be the name of the website, right? So what you can do, you can just copy that. If you're seeing more attempts to that, right, you can just mention URI not equal to, oops, sorry. You can just mention URI web server URI not equal to that particular site, and then you can do a search. All right, this way, by doing this way, right, you know what are all these sites, what is the site that they can reach out to, right? These are the common things that I see, but anything apart from this I have to monitor. In such scenarios you can just mention the common occurrence, right, URI not equal to that particular website, and do a table, try to get the details of other fields as well, like the URI path, URI, or your referrer. Looking at that, right, you will get to know what you can probably utilize in your query. So even when log4j happened, right, even when log4j happened, what we didn't know which where do we have to place, where do we have to search for JNDI, where do we have to search for JNDI, whether it is in URI path, whether it is in referrer, we were not sure. So what you can do, check which path this JNDI will fall into, whether it is in referrer or URI path. So build your query depending on that. Put referrer is equal to JNDI, where it has JNDI, and then you search. So yes, this comes under JNDI, or it comes under referrer. So just remove this, do a search. All right, do a search, looking at the results, because we don't know whether it falls under referrer or URI. We have very less logs, so we can get to know by looking at this. But in your organization, you can just do this, right? Whatever the script is, whatever they are running, right? Just put that in the quotes and do a search. You will get to know where it falls under. It falls under the referrer. We'll put under referrer. Will not pick just the user agent, because this is using Nessus. Nessus is your vulnerability scanner, right? An online tool, probably, which is used. So let us not go with this. We'll go with the referrer, because there are multiple tools. If I just do a Nessus, right? If I just do check with user agent and JNDI, what about other tools which uses JNDI and passes the request? That will come under referrer, right? So we'll just check JNDI. It is falling under referrer. So you can build your query for, especially for log4j, referrer is equal to JNDI. What do I want? I want the details of the IP. So I'm going to put IP location, client IP. And then I'm going to do a table. If you want to do a table, or if you want to check the stats count by, what was that? Client IP. From where are we seeing these hits, right? From where are we seeing these hits? So you can put a client IP. You can use, oh, United States, 143 is the count, is what we are seeing. So let's say, don't need the stats. We'll just mention stats count by client IP country. If you want, you can do a where greater than blah, 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 but we don't need, we need all the we need all the attempts. We need all the attempts, right? So this will be my query. If I want to look for something with respect to log4j. How did I know JNDI is for log4j? Just do a Google search. Okay, just do a Google search JNDI or your log4j. Just mention log4j IOCs. You will get all that information, what to look for, right? What to look for. You will have a detailed information. You have to go through couple of blogs, see what are the IOCs, put in the IOC and run a search. So is this clear?
See,
Attendance.
I have one small query like, for example, like this log4j. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this attack happened. Okay. So
Hmm.
like, do you know like since like how much time or before how many days like this attacker were trying to do that, and then it is scanned and found by some organization, and they confirmed, yeah, that is the attack and vulnerability, whatever vulnerability. So like
See
attackers
here.
like what is the attacker mindset, like how they work, how they do like this about this log4j maybe for example,
Huh.
if you
So
know
in
some.
that case, right, if you're getting the logs from all the devices, like I said, we have to go through the IOCs, various IOCs. That's I'm just talking about the request, but you will get the IP addresses, domains, all of it. So we might have to build some on the, queries with respect to that, and we have to search. All right. Now, for example, this was very simple. We got to know, we built the search and we got to know this is happening at if it is happening from this IP. So what you can do, pick this IP, all right, search in your firewall logs, search in your DNS logs, see if there is any other traffic coming from this IP, right? So we have to correlate once we get the information. So for now we have found out this is the IP, pick up this IP, check your firewall logs. Check your border router logs. Check your DNS logs. Check your proxy logs. If at all you're seeing any requests coming in from this IP, right? That way also you can check. And of course you will see the time frame, right? You will definitely get the time details, underscore time, the time whatever you're seeing here, at what time this particular request came in, right? So if at all you're seeing it through the web server first and then onto your let's say your firewall logs, right, you can probably figure out, okay, this person is constantly trying to scan our network, constant activity is happening, right? So it is not a straightforward query that you have to that you will get to know that this person was trying to do this, the series of activity. No, it will take a lot of time for us to identify, but since you are getting the logs, you can build your query accordingly depending on your IOC and run a search. And this will require a lot of manual effort for sure. Building the query, getting the IOC, correlating events, right? That is how you do.
Do we have like something artificial intelligence or machine learning in Splunk, like
You can
automatic
add
learning?
it as an integration, but nothing out of the box from Splunk.
Okay, because like this Azure Sentinel is like having that. So
You can have integrations with Splunk. You can add the apps to configure it. It can be done. You can also use this. So there is this, Splunk Phantom, right? It is used for automation. So you can add integrations over there also, and you can use, but those require some extra license.
okay.
Doesn't come out of the box. Okay.
That does Splunk does not do like that, like in the back end, like it will be monitoring the traffic, like what we are doing now, what we are doing investigation, but like something like it is monitoring and everything in back end, and then like it is learning, like in machine learning or
No, no,
AI,
no,
like
no, no,
then
no.
okay. So it is possible, but we have to do some integration, right?
Integration, yeah, with those AI tools, Nothing with Splunk. No, you can't. I mean, no. Your Splunk itself does not have that capability of machine learning.
Okay.
So like I said, your that's a separate thing called Splunk Phantom. Using that, probably I think Phantom has that you can write scripts. You can also add AI based detection, I believe, in Splunk Phantom.
Yeah, something is abnormal, like something is happening, like suppose somebody is trying to do something. So
It all
his
depends
IP
on
address
how
is,
good your query is.
yeah,
Nothing to do with your AI or ML based detection. No.
okay.
Okay, so now let's think that we were trying to build a alert, all right, for to figure out the attendance. I'll take, just give me a minute, all right, to build this particular alert for identifying log4j. All right, so what did I do? My screen, huh? Here. So log4j index is equal to web server. All right, I know the IOC. How did I find the IOC? Looking at the, I just Googled about the IOCs. I got to know that if at all this particular, you find this in your request, right? This particular JNDI, right? What did I do? I just did a normal search, JNDI, and did a search. All right, just this search. And yes, I could see some requests coming in. So what did I do? I just expanded it. Okay, it is coming in the referrer. All right, referrer is what I will take. Like I said, it is also there in user agent, but user agent can differ. Other people can use different tools, but when the request is coming through, it will always come in referrer. The agent might change, but the referrer will remain. You will get that information in the referrer. So that is the constant one. So I'm going to make referrer is equal to JNDI. Okay, dollar JNDI asterisk, sorry, asterisk JNDI asterisk. And now I'll do a count by IP, sorry, client IP. Right? Let me do a search. So I will get this. Now let's say this is my very simple query. All right, I'm looking for this. I know what I'm looking for. You can add IP location details for sure. All right, to get more context, always add more context. All right, and then we'll add country details to a search. And let's say I have to run this every day. So I'll put last 24 hours and I'm going to search. Okay, now I want every day, I want to run the search every day, not every day, every half an hour I want this search to run, or every 20 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever. I want this search to run. So every time you can't come over here, run the search, right? There should be a mechanism. I can't do this every time. I can even add it as a dashboard, or I can do one more thing. I can save it as an alert. An alert is nothing but alert, right? You can always go to your alerts. Where's your alert? Sorry. Where was our alert? Save it as an alert. Like I said, your dashboard, alerts and reports. The base for all these three is nothing but your query. You should know how to build your query. So now this is how what I can put it as a dashboard or as an alert, but I'm going to go for alert. So I'm going to save it as alert. You can give a heading for your alert, log4j. Okay, I need a description, shared in app so that it's visible to everybody. Now do you see it asks for, do you want real-time monitoring or scheduled? The thing is, the thing with real-time is it takes a lot of load. It keeps running this query. So instead of real-time, you can always go for scheduled. Okay, instead of running it every week, right? You can run it every hour or every hour past 15 minutes, whatever you want, right? You can run it every hour, every day, every week, every month, But since this is a critical one, I'm going to run it every half an hour or every 15 minutes. So to select that option, I don't see any, it only talks about hour, day, week and month, right? But if I want to schedule it every half an hour or 20 minutes, do you see something called cron schedule? If you just click on cron schedule, right, it will ask you for a cron expression. You have to mention the cron expression. So don't worry about the cron expression. There's something called cron tab guru, okay, which will help you to understand what this is, how often you want to run the query. So if you see here, the first asterisk, the first star, it represents minute. So if I give like this, it will run every minute. If I give at every first minute, it will run. If you see, next it will run at 9:01. Okay, next so every hour, the fifth minute it will run. All right, so if I put any value in the first asterisk, any value, right? If I put 12, if you see here, it says it is going to run next at 9:12. Okay, it is not every 12 minutes. It is at the 12th minute. That means 9:12, 10:12, 11:12. Okay, at the 12th minute. Okay, so if I put 1 hour, so it is going to run at 1:12. It is going to pick the hour as 1 hour 12 minutes. This is where it will run, but I want it to run every 15 minutes or every half an hour. So I have to mention asterisk /30. So it will run at every 30th minute. Every 30th minute. So it is 8:41. So next it will run at 9 o'clock, then again at 9:30. So if you want, I will make it as 15th minute. See, now it will run at 8:45. Sorry, it will run at 8:45 because that is the 15th minute. Every 15 minutes it will run. So next after 8:45 it will go to 9 o'clock, right? So I'm going to make it as 15 so that we can trigger an alert very soon. So I'm going to copy this. So use cron tab guru for creating these things. All right, cron expression 15. Okay, very good, well and good. So it's going to trigger in another 3 minutes. All right, so cron expression is done. So this will help you pick up how often you want to run this particular search. And this time range means this range. How long you want to search the results for. Is it for 24 hours? Is it for 7 days? Whatever you want, you can give over here. So I'm going to pick for last 4 hours. Every 15 minutes. Last 4 hours, you're going to run the search. Okay. Cron schedule is because we do not want to run every hour. We want to run every 15 minutes. If you want to run every hour, you can just select one every hour. It is straightforward. Okay, now it says expires. Expires means after the alert triggers, how long you want the alert to be there for. You want to be there for 24 hours or 24 days, how many ever you want. We can change this. So I'm going to keep it to 24 hours. After 24 hours, you won't be able to see this alert. Okay, I'm just going to keep 24 hours. Trigger condition. So this trigger condition means number of results. So number of results means this result, whatever you see, right? How many results are there? There are 2 results, right? So it is asking, do you have to trigger an alert when you see how many results? How many results? If you see, you want to trigger an alert. I want it to trigger an alert whenever it is greater than 0. That means even if there is only 1 result, there are 2 results over here, right? There are 2 rows. Even if I see 1, the alert has to trigger because it is a critical one, right? So yes, when it is greater than 0, trigger an alert. And this is what it asks, trigger alert when number of results is greater than 1, 0, whatever you want, you can mention. Here it talks about trigger condition, whether you want to trigger an alert for once or for each alert. That means now you see this two will be clubbed into one alert, or you want two separate alerts because they are in two separate IPs. There are two separate IPs. Do you want two separate alerts for this, or do you want one alert for this? Is what they are asking. So I just want to create once. I'll put it as once. All right, since we are almost up for the time, I'm going to make it as 20. 20th minute. So of course, next 20th minute is your 9 o'clock. So let me make it as 52nd minute. That means 8:52, it is going to trigger an alert. So just for the sake of triggering an alert, I'm going to change this 52nd minute, right? We have 5 minutes. So that's the reason I've given 52. Trigger once because I want only one alert for both. So I've made it as trigger once. Throttle. Throttle is nothing but suppression. Let's say I get the same IP, right? So this runs every 15 minutes, right? So I get the same IP even after 1 hour, but I'm already working towards it. I don't want it to trigger for the same IP after 1 hour, right? I don't want that to happen. So I can say suppress the alert for next 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So after 60 minutes, so before 60 minutes, if I get the same IP, this is the IP actually. If I get the same IP before 60 minutes, do not trigger another alert because I'm already working on it. I know I'll fix it, right? I'm working towards blocking this IP, right? So do not trigger an alert for next 60 minutes. Okay, it depends on how much ever you want. You can mention that. Now, trigger conditions. So these were all the conditions, right? When do you want it to trigger? How long you want this search to run? These are all different conditions. Now, once the condition is met, how do you want to be identified? How do you want to be, notified? So that will tell you, trigger actions will tell you. Either you can add it to triggered alerts, events, again back to Splunk, or you can send an email, or you can send it to Splunk mobile if you have a integration, right? But for now we will just put it to add to triggered alerts. I'm going to give it a high severity. Okay, and I'm just going to save it. So what are the things that we did for your alert? So alert basically is nothing but your alert report dashboard is nothing but a query itself, right? But it will trigger when it matches a particular criteria. And the criteria is our JNDI referrer. In the referrer, if it has something called JNDI, it has to trigger an alert. Why? Because that is for log4j vulnerability, right? I am trying to write an alert for that. So my my query, in my query I have mentioned referrer is equal to JNDI. I I ran the search. All right, I put stats count by IP and country, and I've got some detail, and that will be saved as an alert. Save as an alert. When I save it as an alert, I just have to give it a title. I'm going to make it scheduled, right? I can make it scheduled, whether I can run it every day, every week, every day, or every hour. If I check every hour, nothing much. Every hour you can just check the time. So every hour, 15th minute, it is going to trigger an alert, right? So every day, at what time you want it to trigger an alert, you can select that. Similarly, every week, Monday, Tuesday, whenever you want. But instead of that, I'll go for cron because I want it to trigger now and I want it to trigger often, right? So I've just mentioned 52. That means 52nd minute. In another 3 minutes, if this is right, it will work. All right. So This is my query. It is going to search in the last 4 hours. It is going to search in the last 4 hours and it is going to trigger one alert, right? Where it is going to add? It is going to add it in triggered alerts. I'm just going to save it now. Yeah, of course, this is a trial license, right? It will not, I mean, that is the warning that it gives. You can go for permission. If at all you want to add some permission, give permission to other people, right? Read write activity, you can do that. Save it. All right. Do you see here? The problem, as usual. The problem is the timing. This is on a different time zone altogether. This is on a different time zone altogether. What is on a different time zone altogether? My Splunk. This is on a Linux machine, right? This is on different time altogether. So it says, if you see here, modified 3:19:54 a.m. So if we wait for another 2 minutes, this is a different time zone. This is IST. This is a different time zone, right? So there is a small thing we have to do. Go to administrator, go to preferences, make sure whichever time zone you are in, put that time zone for ease, for ease. So ours is 5:30, right? So yeah, this is the one. I'm going to apply this. Where did I go? Administrator, preferences, just the time zone I changed. I applied this. Okay, just do a refresh. Now do you see 8:49? Okay, fair enough. It was modified at 8:49. It has to trigger at 8:52. It has to trigger at 8:52. If you check the schedule, 52, right? So we'll wait for a minute. Where should we go and check? We should go and check under activity. You will see something called triggered alerts. Ideally, you should get, once the alert gets triggered, you should get it under triggered alerts. You should get it under triggered alerts over here. So let's wait for a minute. Okay, and then we'll come back and check this. So meanwhile, quickly take the attendance. Yeah, sorry, someone was saying something.
No, ma'am, it's my login time, so can you please take attendance?
I'm sorry, your voice is not clear. I'm not able to hear you properly.
I want to go office. Can you please take attendance?
Yeah, I'm taking the attendance right now. Yes. Tuti, are you going in flow? What does that mean, Deepak? Sorry, I didn't get that. Guys, please log into magic.soc experts. I'll initiate the attendance. And then we will see about the alerts again. Please log into your SOC experts. Deepak, what does this mean? Please do let me know. I don't know what that means. So let me know once you guys have logged in. I will initiate attendance and I will repeat the alert again.
Yes, Sati, log in.
Super. Shall I initiate the attendance?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, done from my end. You guys have to accept or mark your attendance. Non-stop teaching.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, okay. Yeah, done. Okay. I was just telling you about the alert. I have to tell it that way, right? So, yeah, let me know once you guys are done.
Done, Sati.
Is that alert generated?
Just give me a second, right? We'll see. I'm also checking the attendance. We'll see now. Refresh this. Nope, it is not. It was supposed to trigger at 52. It is not triggered. We will see why. Where is our alert? Go to alerts. Open alerts. Log4j. This is our alert. It is there. We'll open and search. We will see why it was not triggered. Last 4 hours, yes. We are supposed to get the details. We're supposed to trigger an alert, but let's reload. Oh, reload. No, we have not. So we will come back. We'll do the troubleshooting. All right, we'll see why the alert was not triggered. Now, where is the edit button? You can always go over here. Where is your alert? Alert is here. Edit button, right? Edit the alert. We will see why it was not alerted. Why did we not get alerted? For that, it is going to search for last 4 hours. Definitely 4 hours. We have the details. We are getting the results in the last 4 hours. Sorry. I'll open it and search. I'll open this in alerts. All right. I'm going to open this in search. Okay. So it is checking for last 4 hours, which is right. We have got the events in last 4 hours and cron expression. It says 52nd minute. 52nd minute. So now it has gone up. So we will make it as 9 o'clock. All right. We will next 4 minutes we can check. So what we can do. So 9 o'clock is what you can select. So what did I say? 9th hour, every 9th hour. So now it will, in 4 minutes, it will be 9th hour. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to modify my alert again because I want the alert to trigger, right? So Quran expression, 9th hour. This is my schedule. It's going to check in last 4 hours. We have the details last 4 hours, right? It is ideally supposed to give this, trigger this as an alert. So 4 hours is done, cron schedule. It is going to expire after 24 hours. This means after 24 hours, whatever alert that you're seeing here will disappear after 24 hours. It will expire, right? It will expire. So that is what I'm going to keep 24 hours. Trigger condition, alert when the number of results. The result, whatever we get, right? This is one result what we have got. Yes, I want it to trigger an alert even if there is one single match. Yes, so that's the reason I've mentioned is greater than 0. Yes, and trigger once means I'm going to remove this. Means let's say there were 2 results over here. Let's say there were 2 results over here. So it would trigger for once means both of these combined. It would trigger one alert. If I want 2 different alerts, it is going to trigger for 2 different results, whatever I get here. For example, over here, there are 2 results, right? So you would get 2 different alerts, right? That is what it means, trigger once. So I'm going to mention trigger only once. I'm going to suppress this alert for next 24 hours. Suppress in the sense, now we have got this result. So let's say I'm going to run this after 4 hours again, and I'm going to get the same IP. All right, but I don't want that to happen because I'm already working on this. I know I doing some investigation. I'll get this blocked, right? So please not trigger this alert again because I already know it. All right, so let's say I block it after 24 hours. All right, then I will say, please, if at all you see more connections from this IP, even after blocking, then you definitely throw us a different alert. So till then, do not throw another alert, right? So I'm going to suppress. I'm going to suppress is for next 24 hours. All right, I'm going to make it as 9. Anyway, I think we have passed the 9. We'll check for 5th minute probably. 9:05 we will check, or 9:03. Third minute, every 3rd minute it has to check. Even this will give me the answer. So I mentioned every 3rd minute because we're almost done. Why am I changing? Because it should alert at that time, right? So I'm changing every now and then to match our criteria so that we are there to check if the alert has triggered or not. So I'm going to suppress it for next 24 hours. And now coming to alert action. That means when the alert is triggered, when the alert gets triggered, where do you want to show the notification? You can either add it to, send it back to log, send it back to Splunk, or forget about these things. You can send out an email. All right, you can send it to your Splunk mobile. You can do all of these actions. But for now, I'm going to select add to triggered alerts. Add to triggered alerts. I've already added it. Add to trigger alerts. I've put up a severity of high. I'm going to save it.
Yeah, it's 9. I think we can check in alert.
I'm sorry.
It's 9 a.m. now. We can check is alert generated or not.
I've made it 9:03, right? I've made it 9:03.
Oh, okay.
I've made it 9:03. See, every 3rd minute basically. So 9:03 it will trigger an alert. So let's do one more so that you guys can understand. All right. So this was one more alert. This is one more. All right. Where I'm checking with respect to the URI, which talks about multiple scripts being run, right? And it is trying to do a directory traversal. It is checking for anything called passwords, right? So it is doing all of those. So I've just mentioned URI in. How did I get this? I searched for these things. I searched for these things. I was able to find. So I've just put it as URI in these things, right? And then you can just remove this, or you can have this if you want, left to you. But I want it to trigger even without any clause, right? If it finds this, just give me an alert, just trigger an alert, right? You can definitely add the country information, but now let's do so much. I'm going to save this as an alert. So an alert will trigger when it matches a criteria. What is the criteria here? This is my criteria. So it is going to run a search. If it matches this criteria, it is going to trigger an alert, right? So I'm going to save this as an alert. Put in your table as some scanning activity probably. You can give a description of your choice, permission, private or shared, whatever you want. Usually it will be shared in app so that it will be visible to everybody, right? Like I said, right? And scheduled and real time. So scheduled and real time means every time this will, if I put real time, see, I'm not getting any results over here. See, result as in I'm not getting any thing to check with respect to the time run at this 5 p.m 5 a.m. No, it is real time as it will keep searching. So that means there'll be too much of load, right? That's the reason we will always go for scheduled, right? Run every day, every hour, whatever you want you can select. Okay, whatever you want you can select. So instead of that, I'm going to cron schedule. Okay, and it is going to select a time range, how long you want to see the, that means whatever search you're searching, right? How long you want to search is what it is, right? So I'll search for last 24 hours. Okay, and cron expression, we will write a cron expression for in 5th minute. So see, 9:05 it should trigger. So we will add it where, over here, 9:05, 5th minute, 2 more minutes. It will expire in 24 hours. I want it to trigger an alert for each result. So it is greater than 0. Yes. For once, I want only one alert to be triggered. So I'm just going to go for once. Throttle, same thing. How long I want to suppress this alert for. Let's say 24 hours. 24 hours. And once it meets all this criteria, how do you want to be notified? That is the action. So add to trigger alerts. I'm going to go for high. I'm going to save it. Okay, view the alert. You will see the alert under alerts. There are two alerts which is there, but let's see if anything is triggered. You see this? Now the alert has triggered. Probably there was some issue with the time. That's the reason it had not triggered. Severity is high. This is my alert, log4j alert. Now if you click on view result, you will get the complete details. What is this alert about? What is the IP? What is the country? We'll go to events. We will see, right? Because it's in fast mode, you're not seeing. You can put it in verbose mode. You can try to dig deeper. What is this IP? How many events? 143 events, right? What it is doing? Any other. Now you can put source IP or your client IP as this IP, and you can do more searching. You can do a lot of searching, right? So I think it is the problem with the timing here and there, right? Now see, scanning activity is also triggered at 9:05. So if you click on view result, it will give you the details why this alert was triggered. You will get the query, and these are the two IPs from where we saw this activity, wherein it has probably it is trying to scan the web server. That's why we are getting this alert. So since we know the IP now, we're going to pick up this IP, right? You can dig deeper. You can remove this, put client IP is equal to this IP, and you can run searches like what are all the different URIs, what are the different referrers, what is it actually trying to do. Pick this IP, check in your firewall logs, DNS logs, proxy logs, see what are the various things, various ways this particular person is trying to get into our system, right? This is how you try to search, but that anyway I'll tell you how that needs to be done. But this is how you get your alerts, reports, and dashboard. The base is your query, right? Once your query is set, you can save it either as a dashboard or a report or an alert. So if you do save it as an alert, right, it will trigger an alert, and you will see those alerts under triggered alerts. So alert, basically when it has to alert, it has to meet some criteria, right? So you have to make sure you give that particular criteria. So this was one such criteria. This was one such criteria which we gave. And it matched this criteria and it triggered an alert. How you got this triggered tab? It's over here. It's right over here. Activity, triggered alerts. Right? So that's how I got it. Is this clear? We will create few more alerts tomorrow. All right. Please, the problem is, guys, I'm not telling this is for everyone. All right. Not everybody is going through the recordings. Not everybody is going through the recordings. And because I want all of you to understand, I make it a point to repeat, or I make it a point to explain everything again and again. All right. But you should make it a point to go back to your recordings and even go through it. Right. And now when I'm explaining, you say that I'm going non-stop. That is because, this is like that. The alert, I have to tell it in a flow. I have to tell it in a flow. I have to explain everything, right? I have to explain everything, each and everything. I have to do that. I can't give breaks in between when I'm explaining anything, right? I made it a point to tell you each and every point, each and every option over here. But you should also make an effort to go back, go through the recordings, and then come back to me. I've also told over the weekend, reach out to me if you have any doubts. Right? So 3/4 of the class went explaining the yesterday's concepts or the weekend concepts. I don't mind explaining at all. I can explain 100 times. Okay. Even the alert. Tomorrow again I will explain. But I want you guys to also make an effort. Go back. Look at the recording. Please go back and look at the recording, guys. Right? So we will trigger few more alerts. We will trigger few more alerts tomorrow. All right. We will see. This was just web server, right? We will pick something else tomorrow. You pick the you come up. So your assignment is to come up with various alert scenarios, and we will write the alerts in the class. We will write the alerts in the class tomorrow. Okay. So but the thing is, you guys have to the time for the lab is not enough for training, and it does not convene, and that becomes later than schedule. But morning 9 to 11 for you guys, US guys, it'll be running, right? It will be running. See, this will be the IP. This will be the IP. It'll be running. But yeah, second half, I'm very sorry. Right? I keep forgetting because I'll be at work. So that's why I forget. Right. So let me start this instance. So US guys can start. So the query is, the assignment is go back, go through all the three alerts. I mean, sorry, task which was given, go through it, try to, Irshad, give me 1 second, I'll tell about that, okay? Go through all the tasks again, all right? Redo all these searches, redo all the tasks that was given to you guys. I'm sure not everybody would have completed it. Please go through it and tomorrow come up with scenarios wherein we can trigger some alerts with the logs we have. Now don't tell me we'll trigger an alert for something which we don't have. We can't do it. All right. So we will trigger few more alerts tomorrow. We will write few more alerts tomorrow, and we will see if we can get that triggered like how we did it for web server logs.
So can you do like a schedule start for this instance, AWS instance of?
It's already running, right? It's already running.
Oh no,
What
no, no, like in the evening, like when you forget, nah. So
No, I can't do a schedule. I have to go back and run this. I have to go back, run
there's
this.
is there no there's no option in AWS like the schedule
I
start?
don't I don't know if you can start it that way. No, you have to log in. There must be some way, but for that I should definitely run that command also, right?
No,
And I
there
should
should
be logged in.
be schedule start. I will tell you.
Yeah, but anyway, you can tell me, no, let me know. But meanwhile, please go back, go through the recordings, and practice. And you guys, the lab session is open now. Whoever wants to practice can practice. 9 to 11. And Irshad, your question. No, this is not what a correlation rule looks like, right? This is not what it is. So we are just using Splunk Enterprise, right? I would have anyway told you tomorrow about that, or alert session, but this is Splunk Enterprise, right? In Splunk Enterprise, this is where we can see the alerts. These are just the normal alerts. But there is a module called, there is an app called Splunk Enterprise Security. Right? That is called Splunk Enterprise Security. So if your organization is using Splunk, right, as your SIEM tool, they will definitely have enterprise security. Okay, this is a separate app. Unfortunately, we cannot use this because this needs license. I can't just download this. Okay, I need to have license. So once I have license, I will add it. Okay, I can add it as an app over here. So the whole look and feel of your ES will change. The way you get the alerts, right? It will be very much different. Not very much, it will have a different dashboard. Splunk ES dashboard. Right? This is how your alerts will look like in your organization. If you are using Splunk, right, this is how it is going to look like. So this is, you'll be your alert title, time. I'll show this to you when I do a alert, when I start alerts, probably from tomorrow. So this is how it's going to look like. And you guys have to click on this. The alert will expand and you guys work on those alerts.
Okay, got it. Okay, this is a separate integration application,
Yeah,
right?
this is separate. Yeah, this is separate
So,
app.
but the thing is, alert is same. Only the look
The
alert
alert
whatever
is
is created.
same. Correct. This is how you write the alert. But the correlation alert is if I mix this with some other alert. If I add this, let's say I get this IP, right? So I'll pick up this IP and I will try to club it with my firewall logs. So what am I doing? I'm building a correlation over there, right? I'm trying to relate my web server logs with my firewall logs. Okay,
You
so
will check
that is what
in
your
firewall.
correlation search is. I'm sorry.
In firewall, you will check a source IP is equal to this IP.
If I'm checking, yeah, I'll check if there are any incoming traffic coming from, from this particular IP.
Okay.
Right, so that will look different. The way we wrote an alert over here, right? That will look a little different, but the logic will remain the same. You can even give this alert in your ES for your ES Splunk Enterprise Security, right? You can even create this. Even this is actually called as a correlation search in this whatever you see right over here. Even a simple search is also called. But this is a very simple kind of a alert that we triggered today. So any doubts, guys? Any doubts? Because of running Nessus tool, log4j is checked in the web server, only logs are created. Yeah, so one of you ran the scan, all right, especially for log4j, all right, that's the reason the logs were, we got the logs, right? And is this really vulnerable? Yes, it could be. We have to run, they would have got the result saying it is vulnerable or not. It could be vulnerable. All right, you will have other devices like your Nessus, your Qualys scanner, right? You can give this particular IP address of my web server, run the scan from my Qualys or my Nessus. It will give you a report. In that report, it will say, yes, it is vulnerable to log4j. And then we go about remediating it. We would not remediate, the owners, the system owner would remediate it. Is this really vulnerable? Then why we are creating alert for log4j? Yes, to check whether our web servers are vulnerable or not. To check if at all it is vulnerable or not, and not only vulnerable, sorry, it is not about vulnerability. It is about checking whether people are trying to exploit, if at all there is vulnerability, log4j vulnerability, and people are trying to exploit that vulnerability. That is why we have triggered an alert for log4j. But if you want to know more about the vulnerability, how to fix it, we have to run scans using the vulnerability management tool. You will get a detailed report and we have to go fix those. Not we, as in the system owners. Okay. All right. Any other doubts? Any other doubts, guys? Any other doubts? Please let me know. I'll be here.
No, Stuti. Thank you.
No, Thanks, Ishar. No, that was the tool, Deepak. That was the tool that was used by I think it was from MSTP. I'm so sorry, sir. I've missed out your name, but yeah, I think he ran a search. He used the Nessus tool to check if the web server is vulnerable. Yes, he used that. Yeah. Why are we creating alert here? Because we are trying to check. See, I don't know what. Okay, looking at the events, I got to know they were using a Nessus tool. All right, I got to know, but they could use any tool, all right, to check if my web server is vulnerable. They might exploit, right? So they will run multiple scans, and if they are checking for log4j, this will definitely be there. This particular j and di, right? This will be there in the referrer, irrespective of whatever tool you use. So by doing this, I'll get to know this person is trying to exploit, is trying to exploit, is trying to get into my server. He's trying to, scan my server. So I can't just ignore it, right? I have to go ahead, get this person blocked because I see every day this person is trying to scan my web server. So how will I get to know? I have to have some query. I have to, because looking at the logs, I got to know, and we know it is one of us who is doing it, so it is fine, right? So we have to get that clarity as to who is doing what to our web server. I'm not checking whether my website is vulnerable or not using this. I'm trying to check who is trying to exploit the vulnerability. I'm not checking whether this is vulnerable or not. This person behind this is trying to check whether my web server is vulnerable or not. Let's say this person we don't know who this person is. We know for a fact here that because the person told, yes, it was them, right? Otherwise, this is left open to the internet. Anybody can do this. Anybody can access, anybody can run scans. But we, being on the defense side, we need to understand what are people doing. Is anybody trying to exploit the web server? So to understand this, why we have written the alert, not to know whether this server is vulnerable or not, to know whether there is some exploit, whether this web server is being exploited. Understood? Any other doubts? Any other doubts, guys?
Yeah, Stuti, I have one doubt. Like we have created alert now for every 15 minutes. We'll get the alert like when they try to scan, like when once one person is trying to scan the server, then we will get the alert, or like every 15 minutes will continuously getting the alert.
Okay. So that is why there are two things, right? Scheduled and real time. So in real time, if I select real time, I don't get to know. See, do you see any time details? It has to trigger at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. No. As soon as the person scans, right? If there is some activity, if I keep it in real time, as soon as those people scan, if it matches this criteria, referrer JNDI is equal to JNDI, I will get an alert. But like I said, if I make it as real time, it is going to be a too much of a load because it'll keep running this every time. That's the reason we put it unscheduled. That means it is going to run at every hour or every minute, whatever you select. Whatever you select, even if you run it at every 15 minutes, what it is going to do? If you see your time range, you saw something called time range, right? So what happens? Every fourth minute, it will go back to last 4 hours. When I say it will go back to last 4 hours, means here it will go back to last 4 hours every fourth minute. So that means, let's say 9-4, it is going to search for last 4 hours and it is going to give me the result. So last 4 hours, it is going to run the scan, okay, and it is going to give me the result at every fifth minute or every half an hour, whatever you want, you can set it.
Okay.
Understanding my point?
Yeah. Thank you, Stuti.
No problem. Yeah, Deepak, you can do that. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Nothing? No other questions? Mohammed, sir, if you're there, I'll just tell about the dashboard which you had asked me. So others can leave, whoever is getting late for office or whatever, please feel free to leave. We are done. We'll create more alerts tomorrow and we will talk about incident response as well tomorrow. Okay, so any doubts, do let me know if you guys have any doubts.
Shruti, can you tell that importing in Splunk?
I'm sorry.
Importing in the Splunk, can you
What do
tell
you
me?
want to import? Can you be more specific? What import are you talking about? What do
Data.
you, yeah, if you want to import any data, go to Splunk Enterprise, add data.
Okay.
This is how you add. This is one of the ways you can add data. If you have any CSV file, you can add the CSV file. Or if you are getting logs from some other tool, right, you can add the, like I said, right, you can add an app. You can add an app.
Yes, Shruti.
Yeah. So you can either upload from your system if you have that data, or you can add it as an app, or you can install a forwarder on that system and get the logs.
Okay. Mean in these two way we can be.
Yeah, these are the few ways. One is if you have a CSV file, you can add it. Okay. App. From where do you get the app? There is something called as Splunk base. All right, this is the one. You'll find multiple apps over here, multiple integrations. Okay, so you can download that particular app. All right, and once you download, it'll be just a file. Okay, it'll be just a file. Manage apps. Go to manage apps. Okay, install from app file. Once you download that file, you will get the file, right? You will get that particular tar file or .spl, whatever. You can just browse that, upload that particular file over here. Okay, upload it, and it will be added in the file. It will be added in the apps, and you have to go and make the configuration changes depending on what the app is. Depending on the app, you have to do a couple of changes.
Okay.
You can do it this way, or you can install a universal forwarder and get the logs.
Okay, Shruti.
Okay.
Hi, Stuti.
Yes.
Medha here.
Yes, Megha.
I had a doubt. Like, can I share the screen for a moment, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So here basically I'm looking for outbound connections. So I'm giving the condition like a destination IP is not equal to 10 star and making sure that they are not the private IPs, and the destination ports are not 443 and HTT 80. So I'm creating a table for that. So yeah, so I got the results here.
Okay.
To make sure that I have the correct data, I exported this table. So I got it in CSV, the same one. So when I put filter here, I still see like 10 dot IPs. So when I have this condition, there should be no private IPs, right? Which start
Test IP
with
should not
10
be
dot
okay.
anything.
Yeah. Can you open your Excel sheet?
Yeah.
I can't see your Excel sheet.
Oh, you're not seeing, is it? Oh, just a minute. Are you able to see now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dest IP, you're still seeing?
I gave
Not
I
seeing.
gave the filter that begins with 10 dot.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I still see 10.190, 196. So these are private IPs. So when I have that filter on, ideally I should not be
Yeah.
getting.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
I just
Yeah.
want,
Can you?
yeah,
Yeah. Can you go back to the query, please?
yes. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
No. I can see your screen. Yeah.
No.
Now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see. Okay. Can you make that as okay?
Mm-hmm.
Dest IP. Okay. It's very small, but yeah. What you can do is just modify your query a bit. All right. Make it as not in search, not
Mm-hmm.
today, the one which I posted, not in, and put all these things
Yeah.
and do a search.
Okay.
So do a
I'll try.
search, not.
Yeah. No.
I'll ping that 1 second.
Just
Search, not. Yeah. Dest IP in. Yeah. Remove the not equal to. Yeah.
I
Put
put that in braces, right?
everything in braces. Yes. Comma separated.
Yeah. I'll remove the or condition then.
Yes. Can you ping that query to me, please?
Sure.
Whatever you're searching with.
Yes, I'll send. And I see the port numbers also, like 443 and 80 ideally shouldn't be there. So I
Yes.
was not
I
understanding
think it is
what
just a small
mistake is
here
there
and
in the
there.
query.
The or and here and there would be a mistake. That's it. And the syntax, right?
Yeah.
Putting everything in a bracket and stuff.
Yeah,
So let me
yeah,
quickly check that.
yeah.
Anwar, just give me 1 quick minute.
Okay,
Next we'll
okay,
take
it's
up
okay.
your
Thank you.
question. Just give me 1 second. So it's not test IP in. Okay.
It's okay. I'm waiting. No
Yeah.
problem.
Thanks.
I'm also watching that also.
Okay. All time. I thought I'm sharing my screen. Just look at my screen now. Search, not, dest IP, all these things, right?
Yes.
Time?
So basically outbound connections. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So, what was the port that you were searching for? Test port.
HTTP, I mean 443 or 80, which are not 443 and 80, apart from those.
Okay. Where is the port detail? I cannot see the port detail. What happened? I don't think there's anything about
Destination.
destination, maybe. Test. Test zone. Dest IP.
There's dest port, Stuti.
Where is dest port? Somewhere I can't see.
Okay, let me see in your screen. No, it's not there. Maybe that's why. Okay, let me check with the query.
No, 1 second. I think I know why this is. These are all. Thread locks or something.
Yeah, there's no destination port when I filter out for the IPs.
Actually, not equal to 10 dot series, right? 10 dot star.
Yeah.
Test IP equal to, what was one more? 192, 168.
And 172.16.
So now if we check test IP, yeah, it's not there. So these two have vanished. Test IP not equal to this, not equal to this. So I think, I don't remember you putting it like this. I think you had put it this way.
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, it should be test IP not equal to this.
Okay, I just put a OR condition in between. I didn't separately mention this
That
type is
means
not
no.
equal to again. Okay.
No, if you give this, yeah. So over here, if you give, where is it? Test IP. Now everything will go. If you give OR, what happens? It will check either this or this. It will check either this or this. Then of course, all of them either will have this or this. So that's why it should be AND. So if you remove, by default it is AND, right? So it should not be equal to this. It should not be equal to this, the test IP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try.
Okay, so coming back to Anwar, your question, right? So
Thank you,
let's take
Stuti.
no problem.
Thank you so
That's
much.
That's okay.
Yes,
So Mohammed, yeah.
Madam, yes,
So,
the thing we are creating this one and we go to the dashboard and create as a dashboard, right?
yes, new dashboard or existing dashboard, anything that you want. Yes.
That's
So
the
it will
one. So
go
then
step by step.
how I will execute the dashboard, madam?
Go to dashboards, click on dashboard. You will get all the dashboards which you have created.
Okay.
So when you click on that, you will be able to see your dashboard.
Okay. With the commands what I have created, right?
Yeah, that means, let's say, see, I can get all the details. So that means, let's say dashboard, right? You have created some new dashboard.
Yes.
Create a new dashboard. I'm just going to take with one which is already there. Okay, let's imagine that there's a new dashboard which I'm creating.
Yes.
So you'll go to edit. You'll be in edit mode only already. You will start adding your queries over here. You will start adding your queries over here. And when you add it to dashboard, what happens when you add it to dashboard? It let me put this only. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to put this. The queries here, last 24 hours, I'm going to add it to dashboard. So I'm going to get it this way. It will be there in the dashboard. It will be added to the dashboard. And you can change the visualization however you want it to be. But make sure, now this is table only. This you cannot change.
Yes.
It is stats. Okay, you can change this. You can make this as whatever, a bar graph, whatever you want. Right? From which IP you're seeing more number of results. Like that. You can change depending on however you want.
Okay.
And then you just have to save it. Once it's all done, you save it.
Yes.
Right? It will be there in your dashboard. You have to go to your dashboard and pick whatever the dashboard name you had given, right? Once you pick that, you will see your dashboard.
Okay. From there, if I double click, it will be executed, right?
Execute as in you just have to click on this.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
It will open. And if you want to add more panels, just go on edit, right?
Okay.
Edit
Yeah.
and then add panel. Oh, I think it is stuck. Add panel, right? It will add the
Okay.
panel. Whatever you want, you can select bar chart, pie chart,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
You can add it to dashboard.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubts, guys? Any other doubts?
Yeah. This is the thing I was having. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's okay. That's okay, Mohammed.
Uh,
Anything else, guys? Alerts, we will go through alerts again tomorrow. All right. And yeah, from tomorrow, more alerts, how we work on alerts in SOC, right? And we will go through the phishing email analysis and couple of alerts. I will share you a document tomorrow. All right, you can go through the document. They would have showed you different ways when the alert is triggered, what are the things that you need to do, right? All of it would be mentioned. So go through that. No doubts? Nothing from anybody?
yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thanks, guys.
All
If
good.
nobody has...
All good, Stuti. Thank you.
Okay, no problem, guys. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye.